Hello everyone. Let's practice this reading today together. Now as usual, if you like to work by yourself, please go to the description, then you will find a link to download this material. Answer is included. In case you like to work together, then let's start. So today we are working on this reading passage 2, and there are 3 tasks. Fill in the blank, true, false, not given, and multiple choice question. For reading, let's start with fill in the blank like this. My advice is that we should read, like skim the question to see what kind of information we are looking for, so that when we read the text over here, we know when to read more carefully. So let's see, for this fill in the blank task, they allow us to use no more than 2 words, meaning we can write 1 word or 2 words. So now let's find some keyword. Okay, so guide to making water filters. And it should be the production of water filter, or it's a guidance on how to make water filter. And they have 2 steps. Step 1, combination of something and organic materials. I think organic material could be a good keywords, with sufficient something to create a thick mixture sun dry. Okay, so sufficient means enough, and it's a pretty common word that they use in Ielts. If you don't know this, please study it. Okay, because we haven't read the reading passage here, so we're not sure what is this about. And I think these keywords is enough. So now let's read the reading passage. When we come into some keywords or some information relating to making water filters, then we will read more carefully. Now, please pause the video to read paragraph A and B by yourself, and try to see if you can fill in any blanks on the question. Okay, so after we read, even though they do talk about water filter, and they do mention the materials that are used in making it, I don't think they talk about the production of that yet. Like, they don't talk about how to make that step by step yet. So let's keep reading to see if the answer is in paragraph C. Now please pause the video to find answer and continue when you finished. Okay, so it's much clearer here, right? Because they talk about production of the filters. And then they said, take a handful of dry crushed clay. Mix it with a handful of organic materials. And this is the same keyword that we have here. Because they said mix it, so it means to combine it. And therefore, the answer for 14 is clay. Now let's keep reading. Oh, they said add enough water to make a stiff viscous-like mixture. So, and I said, right, I said it before, enough means sufficient. They said sufficient something to create thick mixture. Enough water to make stiff viscous-like mixture. So the answer for question 15 is water. Step 2, let's see the keyword for the rest. Pack something around the cylinders. Pack something around. Place them in something which is burning fuel for firing. Maximum temperature. Okay, everything seems to be the keywords here. Bake in under. So all the answer can be found in paragraph C then. Now, next mean step 2. Surround the pots with straw, meaning pack straw around it. So this is straw. Place them in. So put them in. Put them in amount of cow manure. If you don't know this word manure, meaning waste of animal or people. But they said put them in cow manure, meaning place them in cow manure, right? Which is as burning fuel. Burning manure. That is the keyword here. Maximum temperature, this one easy, right? We see 700 degrees and 950 degrees. Let's see which one is the answer. Okay, so it is 950, right? Because if you look here, they said the fuel reached 700 degrees in half an hour and up to 950 degrees after another 20 to 30 minutes, meaning when we burn it for 30 minutes, 700 degrees. Keep burning it for 20 to 30 minutes, it will up to 950. Bake in under. Okay, so the question for the answer for 19 is actually here, right? In less than 60 minutes, the filter are finished. Because the first part they talk about putting straw around it, then burn it, then in less than 60 minutes. So 19 should be 60 minutes, the time requires to finish baking the water filter. Okay, this is always my favorite task to do because we can always find the answer in one paragraph or in the same part like this. Now let's move on to true, false, not given. Let's find keywords before we start working on it. 20. It takes half an hour for the manure to reach 950 degrees. Oh, we just talked about this, right? We have just talked about this. It is false. Because for 30 minutes, it will go up to 700 degrees. If you want 950 degrees, it's another 20-30 minutes more. 21. Clay was initially found to be unsuitable for pot making. I don't think we read about this. 22. Coffee grounds twice as effective. So we've seen mention of coffee ground up here, I think. So we will go back later then. 23. E. coli. The most difficult bacteria to combat. We haven't read about E. coli. Okay, now let's keep reading to see if we can find answer for 21 to 23. Please pause the video and read D and E. So I think we can have answer for number 21 here. Because they said that porosity of clay something potters have known for years. Potters are people who make pots, and porosity is the feature where the clay is not very dense, meaning the water can leak. Water can leak through clay. See, and they also said, after all, not many people want a pot that won't hold water. So 21 should be true, isn't it? Because if we use clay, water can leak through it, so it's not suitable for pot making. We haven't seen 22 and 23 though. Now please pause the video and read paragraph F. I see E. coli in this paragraph. So we see E. coli here, so let's work on 23 first. I think 23 should be not given because they don't say anything about how difficult it is to combat. They don't compare it with anything. They just said that they tested with this bacteria. Right? And they don't say anywhere that is the most difficult bacteria to combat. So it must be not given. Now I don't think coffee grounds is mentioned, is compared to other material anywhere from what we read, right? Because if we go back, we can see the mention of coffee ground here. Use tea leaves, coffee grounds, rice hulls, but they don't compare it. They don't compare the effectiveness of this. Even in the first paragraph, when they do talk about coffee grounds, they don't compare it with anything. And they don't mention the effectiveness of that. So 22 must be not given too. Now moving on to multiple choice question. Question 24. When making the pot, the thickness of the wall is in paragraph C. Because they talk about making the pot, the production of it. Right here. The wall of the finished pot should be about as thick as an adult index. It's large enough to last. No. Okay, so the answer is C, right? Now, 25. What is true about the charity? Charity. We haven't read. Oh, sorry. We haven't read paragraph C. So please pause the video and read. So they talk about the charity and they ask what is true from these 4 sentences. So they said fail in searching for appropriate material. They found the clay. It's too fine, but then they solved it by adding organic material. So A and C is wrong. Successful to solve worldwide. They said couldn't be applied elsewhere, so not worldwide. Oh, at first, they wanted to set up a small industry filters. So intended to build production factory, isn't it? So the answer is D. Okay, and 26, Mr. Flynn design purposely not being patent. Is a word that you should study too. So no plans to patent his idea. No legal obstacle being adopted in anywhere that needs it. A, right? Freely used around the world because no legal obstacle and everyone can use that. The answer is at the end of the reading material if you like to check that again. I don't think this is very challenging. However, the topic of water filters been used quite frequently lately in the IELTS test, so I just think it's a good idea to practice this one. Okay, so that's it for the reading today. I hope that I help clear some of the answer to everyone. And good luck on your test. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.